operations centers are certainly, we're on their radar screen, facing us. You probably didn't think that I can even come up with a big word. Well, I didn't. It was the Southern Growth Policy Board. They came up with a big word. Urbanization. Now, there's going to be cities growing, but they're going to be winners and losers. And it's going to be, to me, winners and losers based upon how they incorporate into the economy. Are they going to be a follower or a leader? Globalization, winners and losers. Not every country growing is going to be a winner. For India, the jury's out. But China, they're doing well now, but where will they be in 10 years from now? But you can see the Chinese are growing now. Instead of being a gross exporter, they're becoming a developer of knowledge and intellectual property. Just a matter, can they grow that capability fast enough? In the U.S., clearly we're at the precipice of change. Can we grow our ability to become a leader in intellectual property and in finance and other areas that allow us to maintain one of our leadership roles in the globe? Innovation, winners and losers. In many ways it's about innovation, but we'll see a video coming up. We've got to make sure we're innovating in the right way with the right products. Education, winners and losers. One of the issues that we saw in Saudi Arabia is that about 45% of their college students graduate with a major in Islamic studies. Islamic studies in and of itself is wonderful. I believe in equal opportunity in religion for all those listeners out there, but it doesn't help you if you're in finance or medicine or engineering. You have to have a degree in those special areas, and we need to have more technical degrees in this country, but certainly through a lot of these countries they need to make sure they're producing the graduates that you need. So we need to prepare our communities to compete. That means a lot of that is intellectual with our workforce. We're just at a Great Achievements Academy breakfast yesterday morning where they're trying to help a lot of our dropouts re-prepare themselves for our economy and get them educated, get them back to where they're going to Durham Tech, getting certification, going to college. Without this knowledge, they will not be a winner in our economy. Okay, let's hope for technology. Now, I think that's a vain hope. Okay. I edited this last night. I'm sorry. I thought I got the right one in there. Apparently not. But anyway, I'm in deep trouble now. Anyway, this kind of winds up my presentation on ChamberU. I did want to open it up for questions and kind of allow you all to fine-tune, zero in. I have no idea where that went. Oh, there it is. Kind of zero in on if you guys have any questions on the topic. Thank you so much.
I'll break the ice. One is just an observation, especially since I'm sitting next to the gentleman from Kansas. Saul Wilson. One of my college was at a company that was founded during the Great Depression and that provided auto parts. And so I think that the segment that showed the sort of decline in that sector really wasn't adequately segmented, because I think that parts and repairs and things are actually doing relatively well because people are keeping their cars.
That depends on the problem. Is, of course, I didn't get my stiffness. The General Motors.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So,
that's a difference.
So what has happened is the transmissions are fairly expensive to repair. So if they can get $4,500 for the vehicle, so I lost quite a bit there.
Oh dear.
You know, that stiffness that I did not get that, and also as cars are getting, there are less and less options because a lot of the used cars are being sold too. So yeah, you're right. There's an advantage there being automotive business. You're gonna have business. There's also a lot of competition.
There is, and that's what we're trying to highlight. It's interesting. In Durham, we benefit from foreign car production. AW North Carolina is located up in Traver Corporate Park, and at the height of their business activity, they employed 1,200 folks building transmissions for Toyota, for about 4 or 5 different car lines and vehicle lines. And as a result of this tumultuous slump in auto sales, they had to lay off quite a few folks or put some on leave.
And Frodenberg closed the division that made nonwovens.
Yeah, and they
for
did
the automotive
industry, and so there are other folks that actually even do some circuit board repair for Mercedes. And what we're seeing are some people are just deferring maintenance on their vehicles as long as they can. They have the money, but right now in this cycle, everybody's holding on to every dollar they can.
Right.
Although I like to believe that my wife and I are leading the recovery. We're spending as much as we can, but having said that, but it's interesting to see what we're purchasing. I look down and see the origin of many of these products that we're buying, things at Costco or Sam's. We certainly buy at the clubs where the prices are better, but a lot of these products are international in origin. Distributed here in the United States, which means, once again, goes back to the workers have to have a different set of skills. They've got a different role in the overall supply chain, so that makes a difference. Like Don here works with an architectural firm. In the old days, he would design everything. For his firm, he designed everything from the ground up. Now, some of the stuff may be designed offshore. So now you have more. You still need to be an architect, but now you have some project management requirements that you didn't before, and even understanding cultural requirements. And one thing in Durham is we're a non-majority city, meaning that we don't have a majority in the city of anybody. We're a very diverse community. But that also means that we also have to understand what the cultural and ethnic characteristics are, what those buying decisions are, and how to best react to them.
Which actually trains us better for
Yes.
working in a global world.
Yes, but you hit the big word there. It's training, it's education, understanding what you have to do to remain competitive in the economy. In that last video, we saw where the guys that you saw in there, the big 3 burly guys, they design and modify motorcycles, Orange County motorcycles up in New York. And they've taken this racing bicycle and modified it to be a chopper. Well, it was a great bicycle, but it's one of the things we're trying to say is it wasn't really for that market. And we've got to make sure that we're taking technology and it all leads to a product that can be sold that is wanted by the customers. And it's a little bit, if you remember back, they missed out, as we all know, where for a number of decades they just weren't producing a car that America wanted. At least in the numbers that they used to have in terms of the market share. So that makes a big difference. And we're having to look at with our clients right now, or actually it's interesting, they're more self-selecting. They can gather more information about us on the web before we ever see them. In the old days, 300 information packages a year, fill out a lot more requests for information that were basic in nature, demographics, what's our population, who are our residents. Now, I don't see those types of inquiries, their capabilities. But I'm looking in there and I'm saying, we're filtered out a lot more early on than we ever know. There are more people who know more about us, and they go, well, we know about them, but they may be good for us, or this community may not be good for us. So the clients we see now are far more serious in nature. They know a lot about us. They know what our capabilities are, and so when we do respond, it's usually to some very detailed, very specific questions. What's our exact labor costs for a computer programmer with SAP for 5 years? I mean, it's very specific now. Our company interviews are far more important than they've ever been. And a lot of times it's interesting with our clients, they come in for a couple of hours and we don't see them again. So it's with Merck. They invested $300 million. We saw the gentleman leading the site team for 2 hours, and that was it. In the old days, I would see someone for 3-4 days, and believe me, when they left, I was really glad they left. Now when folks leave, we still have a lot of unanswered questions. Challenging in terms of being in front of the client, able to talk to them and understand when we can, and a lot of them like to keep their identity secret, so we